Welcome back to our third episode of our podcast. I'm here with Coach John. So, John, talk to me. What's been happening with the club in the last 12 months?
There's been a lot that's been happening. As you know, we've been part of the Hackney League. We started the season in September. We've been a Hackney League, and it's been a really, from a footballing perspective, a disappointing season. And the reason why I say disappointing season, because as a coach, just like every other coach, you want your team to be winning, getting points on the board, etc. But that's not been what's been happening to us. But there also, on a positive note, clearly just demonstrates the podcast that we're doing from adversity to advocacy. Fair enough, the adversity is well. We played 14 games, we have not won a single point yet. But advocacy is that we've learned much more from those losing positions than perhaps winning. We've learned the resilience of the club, coaches, and players themselves. We had situations where players dropped out last minute, left the club, and these kind of things happens. So what do we do as a club to overcome? We maintained our composure. We maintained our perseverance because this is so important for our young people going forward. As a coach, as a part of the club ethos, we want to demonstrate to our young people that in life you will counter various types of obstacles, but your reaction to these obstacles would ultimately determine where you end up. Our young people have been tremendous. They have not given up, and because they have not given up, we have not given up as well, and that's why we continue.
So, John, as you know, certain clubs go through issues with players, with finances, with cuts, cost of living. At the moment, some of your players are doing their GCSEs.
Yeah.
What are the plans for next season?
So next season, I'm not gonna say too much about what's gonna happen next season, but all I can say is next season we have plans of expanding the club. Yeah, that's our should I say vision to expand the club. And just to touch on your point that you raised, which is a really important point about lack of facilities. Look, we had no facilities over the winter, so we have to improvise, training in the local parks, having lights, buying our own lights to improvise. So again, this just shows how determined our young people were to play football. They were not playing football because they wanted to win. They were playing football for majority of them because they see the development side of it. They can see how the character is being built up. And for me as a coach, that's my winning win situation right there.
So, John, we know that in April, March, the season's coming to the end.
Yeah.
What have we got coming up?
Fantastic. So during the interval right there, a lot of our young people, especially under 16s at the moment, they'll be writing the GCSEs. So that's why we thought to ease down the pressure a little bit, do a bit of intervention workshops. So events, we've got our events coming up. Kickstart Success is a brilliant event that we're going to host in April, the 17th of April. And that is basically combining football with mentoring, highlighting the importance of education to our young people, but also at the same time giving them that stress-free environment where they can actually participate in football whilst having a laugh and just bringing out cultivating the best out of them through football.
So, John, final thoughts. What you got to say?
First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to all my players and parents too, who have persevered with us. Life is full of obstacles. Life is a marathon. Don't try and sprint. Take your time, especially with the young people. This is a message for you guys. As you're preparing for your GCSEs, prepare. Yeah, do your revisions. Yeah, do your revision. Study. If you don't understand something, ask your teacher to explain to you. Right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't do that and you fail, it's your fault. Ask questions if you don't understand. Ask for help if you don't understand. Don't ever be ashamed to ask for help. Okay? Always make sure ask for help where possible.
And John, to end on this podcast, mini episodes, what's your final 3 words?
Perseverance, resilience equals success.
Thank you so much, John, for the
Always,
update. See you
always,
soon.
always. That was a lot.